All right, this is the last video before saying goodnight. I'm not actually going to specifically talk about specific things, but I will tell you something. I seem to have a sort of audience or sort of reach to an audience that's very broad, like almost like the entire public. It's like almost, I'm not saying that everybody listens. I'm saying it's a type of appeal that the general public can hear and kind of take to an integral form. You understand what I'm saying? Now, I'm not going to go into specifics, but I will tell you something. Okay, listen. This is a mirage. You know how they say the mirage is in the desert? No, the mirage is here. The mirage is in Canada. It's in the United States. I don't know about Europe, right? But Canada and the United States claim to be the best countries in the world with human rights and all that stuff. Canada claims to be more than the US. They claim that they're more fair and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not going to go into specifics, right? But what I will tell you is don't be surprised if you come here, for example, or if you have lived here, don't be surprised if you are treated very unfairly, okay? Or if you have a bad experience, don't be surprised. Now, as far as I know, I don't know what to say. You know what I mean? Say I don't really understand fully. You know what I mean? One day, somebody's on your side, and then the next day they're not, or whatever the deal is. I'm talking about like people you don't even know, who could be high up or whatever. But the thing is that, now I know people think, oh man, I should tell everybody that such and such happened to me. Don't be surprised, okay? But in all honesty, I will tell you that human rights doesn't mean shit in Canada. Legally, they will legally fuck you over in any way. It happens all the time. There's one thing people don't know about Canada is about the past where they used to kill children. I've actually come into contact with people who later I found out had actually murdered children. And then I didn't know for sure. I just had heard rumors, but Canada was a big child murdering country. Specifically the native children. They had residential schools. On BBC News and CNN and all over the world, it came out that they had found these mass graves for only children, specifically native children. And there were thousands and thousands of bodies in these mass graves that they were finding all over Canada. I came out with a prediction, and I said the next grave that they come upon will have Caucasian children in it. And then all of a sudden, like magic, like in 3 weeks, they found like 6 mass graves. And then just like magic, no mass graves ever turned up again. You know what I mean? Nobody knew about this thing that was happening. Just don't be fooled by all this, we're human rights and we're all that stuff. And I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest with you. I gotta be honest with you. I don't actually know personally of anyone who's had the experiences I've had. But like I've told you, they made a fraudulent document, okay? There was a lawyer working for a government agency who made a fraudulent document. And the parole board claimed this in the hearing. And apparently he made a fraudulent document to keep me in this place for a year longer than I had to be in here. And they all knew it. They all talked about it. Now, they had somebody who, in court when they have somebody, you know how in court they have somebody who types up everything. So they had somebody like that. They have somebody like that at every parole board hearing. So I tried to get the transcripts. Right, I was looking for the transcripts because the transcripts were supposed to have evidence that happened. Now, I tried to get the transcript. You know what they told me? At first, they're like, yeah, you can get it. It's free and everything. I called them and they're like, yeah, it's going to be $507. I'm like, are you serious? I'm like, well, I might pay it. They said, listen, before you pay that money, remember that whatever you think might be in there might not even be in there. You know what I mean? Like in so many words, like if this is a big transcript and you might not find those specific things you're looking for. That's what I understood, that I would pay $507 and the transcript wouldn't show that particular part. Okay. The next hearing I had, I told him about it. You know what the guy said that was had in it? You know what the guy said? He said that never happened. And this was illegal. Like, he was supposed to be high up. You know, he's on the board, man. You know what I mean? These are board members, and he goes, that never happened. And that's all it is. To this day, everybody believes me. I got that integrity where the general public would believe me. But, you know, and that's not even like they've done a lot of worse things. They continually do stuff. They continually do stuff intentionally. And that's prior. And when they say, well, he was doing this, it's like prior to before I even did anything. I started doing things in order to because I was like, what the hell is going on, man? You know what I mean? Like, well, why the hell is this shit happening to me? I didn't do anything. You know what I mean? But I've had that the board, the guy at the board, and he knew it too, but he just lied, just outright lied during the hearing. And it's crazy, and I can't do anything about it. There was a lawyer who was gonna help me, and he dropped the case. You know, he just stopped talking to me. I don't know what he did, but he just didn't answer my phone calls, my texts, nothing. He just shut me out. You know what I mean? But don't believe all this shit, man. Don't believe all this shit. You know, it's you know, if you're coming from Somalia or if you're coming from some kind of like Uganda is actually not that bad. If you're coming from like a really bad African country and you're only making 30 cents an hour or 30 cents a day, this place will be much better for you. Guaranteed. Guaranteed it'll be much better for you. You can earn $15 an hour. You can take that money, buy a flight ticket, go back home for 2 months and live like a king for 2 months. You know, with the money you make and the dollar difference, the currency difference, you'll live very well. But I will tell you, don't be surprised. Don't believe any of this human rights stuff. It's all bullshit. Human rights doesn't mean shit in Canada. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything in the whole world, man. There's nowhere in the world where human rights mean it. Nobody cares about humans who are supposedly at the bottom. Nobody cares about human beings who are at the bottom. I have nobody caring for me, basically. I was at level 1, right? And I got to tell you that again, I was at level 1. I'm not anymore. And I know for a fact that the level I'm at now and the status that my life is in, that I know that there's going to be, you know, I know that whatever effects they do, I don't have to talk about things. I'll tell you that. Don't go, you know, you don't always have to be a whistleblower and start saying human rights. Oh, this happened to me and that happened to you. Don't even say anything, you know, because if they're doing it to you, and I was told when I called the fraud department and of a government agency, I called the fraud department because I wanted to talk to them legally. And what the legal perspective he gave me is like, dude, this has happened to 100,000 people. Like, you know what I mean? That's what he told me. So he was like, dude, what are you surprised about? This has happened to like 100,000 people. That's literally what he said to me. Now, I don't know if he meant like in the last 10 years, but he told me 100,000 people that the same thing has happened to them. You know, but the thing is, you don't have to whistleblow or anything. But the thing is that, you know, if they did it, they did. Like with me, if they did it, they did it. But I'm not that same guy that I was before, you know, and I always try to make that clear. It's not just that I have a presence and I've taken that step and the shell is gone. It's also the fact that the caliber I'm at, the status that my life is at. I mean, if they're going to do this to me, what do you think they're going to do to you, man? If they're going to do this to me, what the hell are they going to do to you? Whatever they do to me, what the hell are they going to do to you, man? What is going to happen to you? What is going to happen to all of them, everybody? You know, is this just going to become a normal thing? Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, we can do this to millionaires. So what the hell can we do to poor people? If we can do this to millionaires, imagine what we can do to poor people. You know what I mean? If we can do this millionaires now, well, imagine how many millionaires we can do this to. You know, it's going to get to the point where countries are going to say, we do not want to have any kind of relationship with Canada because we don't want bullshit like that getting into our country. We are going to close diplomatic relations with Canada and business relations with Canada because we don't want this bullshit virus that they've created to come into our countries. Close the doors off to Canada. You know what I mean? Make Canada pay for what they did because we shouldn't be held responsible for what Canada did. And I'm just being real. Look, I'm not whistleblowing on anything. I'm just telling you how the system works. And I'm telling people who know how the system works and who know what the outcomes are. Now, what they're hoping is that this virus spreads everywhere in the world and that everybody gets into the boat as them. I'm just being honest.